This is Sherry at Twisted Granny Tarot. This is the tarot reading page that uses a horoscope as a diagram to determine what's going to happen to you in your life this year. We can cover a lot of territory because there are 12 different categories of life that we're going to nudge in this reading. It's also the page where my friend Link publishes a calendar called A Year and a Day, and he likes to research antiquities and ancient news, I guess. And so let's see what this one. Oh, this one here says, on June 22nd, Fraudulent Mediums Act of 1951. You might be happy to hear that. Repeals England's Witchcraft Act of 1735. So there was a Witchcraft Act in England at 1735, and they didn't remove it from the law books until 1951, which that act alone became a catalyst for Gerald Gardner's books. Now, he is someone who is said to have studied through others who kept the old wives' tales, let's call them, and esoteric information from psychic endeavors. Let's just say that. Okay. So what I have here is the Fairy Tarot cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. And they've been shuffled, they've been blessed, they've been cut, and we're all ready to talk to all y'all Virgos about what the world's going on. Okay, so the first house is about what you're thinking about right now, Virgo. Oh, 7 of Summer. Now this is 7 of Cups. Wow, what the hell? It says no more procrastinating. Your power comes from making a decision. Look at that. Summer is Cups, right? Now let me look at my handy dandy little, because I didn't think it looked like that. Yeah, 7. Yeah. Okay. And another deck, it's Cups in the air filled with things you're not possibly ever going to have. That's what it is. But in this deck, the 7 of Summer / 7 of Cups. No more procrastinating. This says your power comes from making a decision. Well, decide what you want and go after it. Confusion that arises from over-analyzing the options. So sometimes, now Virgo's being aren't they ruled by Mercury? And so you're highly analytical, which is a good thing. And you like to think and think and think and think before you make a decision. You turn over an upside down, you'll even read the edge of a card, if you could. So you got plans, make a decision. Apparently, it's a good time to make a decision. Okay, second house is your own money. Woo, 6 of Summer. Now, this is another Cups card. It's about love and children or childhood. Okay, these two people here represent people that have been friends for years, probably since childhood. They've played together. They love each other. They make good cooperative companions. And they just like each other. Now this says children or childhood, the return of people or romances from your past. Okay. Remembering events differently in the better or worse light than how they really occurred. Now, isn't that interesting? So these people, so in this case, it makes me think of that you might be thinking of an old friend. You haven't seen in a long time, but you always loved that person and you got along well with that person and you had a meeting of the minds on a regular basis. But there may have been, if you all drifted apart, there may have been a reason in a better or worse light that you might remember that how they actually occurred. So, well, in this case, you might be kind of lamenting the fact that you don't see this person anymore, but it may have ended kind of wishy-washy or uncomfortable. And that's why you don't do it anymore. But this has got to do with your house of money. So don't be surprised, if you don't run into somebody from out of your past who you actually liked. Okay? Third house. I don't know what the money's got to do with it, unless you have to spend money to go out with them. Anyway, the Chariot. Now, the Chariot usually depicts a person who's driving the chariot. However, driving is kind of a telepathic word because the driver's hands are never on the reins. And the horses that are pulling the chariot never have bits in their mouths. One horse wants to go that way and one horse wants to go that way. So you have decisions to make And this is in your house of communication, which means emails, telephone calls, letters, text messages, short trips, that kind of thing. It's the words on the card say success that comes from dedication and self-discipline. That's what this says. So choose what you want to do and do it. Because you Virgos could spend a lot of time up in here going, because you're pretty good at, turning things over again until you think you understand the situation and you think you could do it. Celebrating your accomplishments, being in the spotlight. So kids, apparently you are going to have a collective admiration situation, and people are going to express that to you. Okay? In the month of June, you lucky Virgos. Okay, is Seven of Winter. Now this would be the Seven of Swords. Okay, this one says Seven of Swords. It says there is a better choice. Now let me get the Seven of Swords out here. Oh, so in the picture of the original deck of the Seven of Swords, it's a person who is sneaking off with swords and weapons and shields and he's stolen them from the camp that he just vanquished. I guess we could say that. There was a fight, there was a battle, and the other side won, and now you're stealing all their weapons. So they can't do that to you again. You can take it back to your camp and use them. This is now there is a better choice. Not seeing things clearly, running away from the truth. Well, that running away from the truth. I don't think that think about that for a minute. We're talking about your house of home. So maybe you're really not happy there, but you just stay there because it's there. You're really not happy in this house you live in, but you're willing to stay because nobody's thrown you out yet. And there's not enough heat in the kitchen, so to speak, to drive you out. So, kind Virgos, ponder that. Because on the one hand, you're really good at making decisions. On the other hand, sometimes you take too long. And so, it might be in your best interest to speed things up. Okay? Fifth house is romance, creativity, children. Now, this is the Ace of Swords. Don't be deterred by the Ace of Swords. Aces are always new beginnings. Swords are intellectual activity and contracts and phone calls and communication of any kind. And because this has to do with your fifth house, we're talking about romance, creativity, games of chance, recreation. And the copy that's at the bottom of the card here says, don't be deterred by challenges along the way. So if you're going to start a new enterprise in the romance department, don't expect it to be perfect initially. It says it's important to communicate clearly because swords are all about talking, thinking, communicating. It's important to communicate clearly and accurately. Amazing new ideas that should be implemented. Well, because it's also your sign of creativity, your mind can go in and out of lots of ideas. You may get so far into an idea and then you find 2 or 3 things that won't let it work. So then you switch to turn the dial slightly to another different kind of a activity, and you keep trying out new scenarios in your mind to help you get to where you want to be physically, or where you want to be emotionally, or where you want to be intellectually, where you want to be at your workplace, how you want to be thought of. Amazing new ideas okay, so kids, you don't be deterred by challenges along the way. So if you got a new idea, you know what? You've had new ideas before and new exposure to different new places before. And so this card is suggesting that you go ahead and pursue them. Okay? And this is 6th house of work and health. This is money. It says autumn, but it's really autumn equals pentacles in a regular deck. Take steps to ensure financial security of your children or other. Oh, you know what? 10 of Pentacles means this is a generational card, because in the original art from Europe in the 1300s and 1400s, It's usually a picture of mom and dad and the kids and grandpa and the castle in the background, and they're just oozing wealth. You could just see it all over them, just oozing wealth. And because you want not only yourself to have a comfortable life, you want your kids to have a comfortable life, you want your grandchildren to have a comfortable life. And if you can contribute to future generations beyond that, fabulous. The Native Americans have an expression. They look towards the next 7 generations. Now, what an Anglo person would say was, I'm responsible for the next generations, but a Native American chooses a different word. I'm obligated. So that's a deeper role. I'm obligated to help through to the next 7 generations. So he's got to think 7 generations ahead. That could be 200 years, certainly 150. So he's thinking far, far, far in the future. So what this card is telling you is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I thought that was going to be it. This has to do with work and health. And this card is telling you, if we're going to break it down to the lowest common denominator, it's telling you to work your tail off, because you're not done with your 7 generations. You might not even been done with the 1 or 2 that are behind you or in front of you. You know what I mean? So just making wise investments or planning for retirement, honoring family traditions. So think about that. Traditions are very important to a lot of people. Facebook says tradition is peer pressure from dead people. You can interpret it any way you like. But the thing is, for some reason, you are going to take into consideration your role through the next several generations after you've passed. Because you may want to be the one that the children and great-grandchildren talk about, but as being someone who was helpful, kind, generous, and all around well-loved. And that's part of your legacy. You want to leave them a legacy. Okay? 7th house, marriage partnerships and business partnerships. Woo, we got the Queen of Winter. Ooh. So winter is swords. And it's underneath the Queen of Winter says strong, patient, self-sufficient, and funny. Now, the Queen of Swords is somebody who makes sound decisions fairly quickly. She knows her mind. She can see the past and the future, and it's likely culmination, because that's her job. That's her job. Now, at the bottom of the paper here, bottom of the card, it says, let go of people or things that no longer serve you. So on the one hand, you're obligated for 7 generations. On the other hand, this card's saying, the heck with that. But if we're going to focus on your career, so your career is going to bring you money. This one is suggesting you focus on your career. Unmarried, and also has more emphasis for unmarried or divorced individuals. Now, meaning you're the sole proprietor of your life, sole proprietor of your body and your mind. There's nobody that can stop you because you're not married. You're not bound by any unseen or unseen chains. So let go of the now, this is a face card. So I'm going to get what I call a modifier to put on it, find out what that's the else. Now we got another face card. This is a money card. Now what do we get here? The Star. All right, this is good. Cautious, and the Prince of Autumn. Right? Autumn is Pentacles, right? Yeah. It says continuous but wise action, meticulous attention to detail, kindness to others. So kind Virgos out there. In order for you to become the epitome of the highest good of all concerned, you need to think about how your legacy is going to show up in the next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 generations. And it tells you that you're going to need physical proof that these people in the future are important to you, and that you may be able to help them have good lives that you won't even be there. Now, the Star is the epitome of the highest good of all concerned, because for this money and for your legacy, you want the highest good of all concerned. Right now, for your children, you want their highest good. Your grandchildren, you want their highest good. For your boss, if you love her or him, then you want his highest good so you can keep your job, right? Now, the power of faith to move mountains, happy changes that bring relief from challenging times. So if you've been undergoing some doubts about decisions, doubts about having enough money, this says stop having doubts and just go with your highest good and your family's highest good and aim for that. Now that's kind of vague, but that might be as precise as we can get it at this moment in time. Okay? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's marriage partnerships and business partnerships. 8th house is money from other people. Now we got the Princess of Winter. This is swords again. Information that can help you, but which may also be difficult to hear. Oh, shucks. Now, 8th house money from other people means income tax checks, insurance checks, bonus checks, lawsuit checks, something else. I don't remember what the other one was, but unearned income, basically. Speaking the truth with kindness. So this card has to do with the one in the 7th house. It says information that can help you, but which may also be difficult to hear. So once you make your decision, you may find out right off the bat that you stepped in a puddle. That's okay. You can get yourself out of the puddle and keep going. All right, now this is a face card, so we're going to get up. Now we got another face card. Charming, self-confident. Now we got the World. Keep going, folks. Keep going, folks, as you're on the right track. If you are making decisions about your life today and changing your life today and moving to a different type of life, then put one foot in front of the other and pursue that. And try not to worry about the disaster that could befall you, because it doesn't have to. It really doesn't. Now, Prince of Spring, charming, self-confident, passionate, and restless. Because that's a fire sign. Immediate action, a challenge you can successfully manage, a passionate relationship. Wow. Okay, for money from other people. So what I think is going to happen is that you are going to find a way to security by practically thinking it into action. Okay? That's what I think this means. You're going to find your way to security in the category of money from other people because you're concentrating on it, you're thinking about how to get it, and when you need to say to yourself, it's coming to me now, it's coming to me now, it's coming to me now, good things coming to me now, and this A, B, C, and D that I want, it's coming to me now. But the money's coming to me, the job is coming to me, everything's coming to me just the way I want it. Now that's how you get your life to unfold. No doubts. You just stare it in the face and keep moving. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Woo! Wee, that was good. 9th house is philosophy, religion, higher education, and long distance travel. Now, what does it say? Justice? So that immediately makes me think of, gee willikers, it's time to do one of those 4 things or all of those 4 things. Because if you want to increase your status at work, you could take another course and get another certification. If you want to learn about, let's take the topic of spirituality. You don't necessarily have to go to Sunday school. You could go to the library and look up, various types of spiritual studies of thought. And read about it, and read about the next one, and read about the next one. And then you can pick out your own philosophy of life and your own spiritual satisfaction. Okay? Now, take the time to review the details carefully. You will win in the end. So what it's telling you is that spending time inside your own head to sort out your preferences, how much time we got? And tendencies, natural tendencies, are going to help you on your way. Okay, that's 9th house. 10th house is your career. We got the Princess of Summer. So the summer is a card of Cups. A new relationship, so you're going to get a new job. But a new relationship or emotional experience. Invitations to social events. That's what this is. Now, this is a face card. So now we're going to get the theory of spring. Plan your next steps with an eye to the long term. Okay. A new relationship or emotional experience. So this could have to do with, I'm just going to, people at work who find your skills valuable and they want to keep you. And you may not have felt that way in the past about other jobs or other people at jobs, but this is what I think is going on today. And this has to do with, if you realize that the people at work, like your superiors and your coworkers, value your work ethic and value your performance, then keep your eye on the long term. Keep your eye on planning to stay maybe longer than you had originally thought, because you may have come to a good place to light, so to speak, like a bird lights on a wire. Okay. All righty then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's what I thought. Okay, 11th house. Oh, look at that. Is, wait a minute. Oh, long-term plans. And 12th house is what you think about when you go to sleep at night. Okay, so 11th. Okay, this is about, look at what this is about. This is about people who like each other and they want to stay together. And you became friends first because it's in your house of friendship. So it says falling in love or making a serious commitment to someone. So here's these cards in a row are just telling you, you know what? Give up the flint and moving around and stick with where you're at now, because you can see a life doing that. You can see a life doing that, and it'll satisfy your need for stability. Okay? And this one says a resolution. So, well, these are all falling into place. You know, stick with the lover you got. Stick with the job you got. Stick with the place you are. Stick with the people around you. Stop analyzing. Is it better over there? Is it better over there? Is it better over there? It might not be better over there. The resolution of difficulties. Listen to that. This is your 12th house. A weight lifted off. So once you decide to hang out longer than you intended to, you're going to feel much more grounded. And maybe you need to be, because after all, Virgos are earth signs, so they want to be grounded. So good for you. A weight lifted off your shoulders, an end to an addiction or codependency. So something is going to happen with you that will encourage you to bloom where you are planted. Okay, that's what's going to happen. All right, what do you think of that? I think that's pretty good. Okay, well, that was a pretty long reading, Virgo. Congratulations, but it sure looks good to me, because some things in your life are gelling and they're finally making sense to you, and you're finally at a place where you can see the good things and want to keep them. Okay? All right, thanks. This is Sherry from Twisted Greenwich Row. I appreciate you coming to see me tonight, and we'll talk to you again in July. Okay? Bye. Love you. Mean it.